Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day, another game from ESEA Advanced League. We have CCG facing off against yet another team today, and the team name is hold on, I have it right over here. Never mind, I don't. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
they're
check it.
facing off against Ultra Iron Club,
Alter
who
Iron Club,
happen to
yeah.
have some of the best individually listed players in the ESEA leagues. But how are they going to perform as a team is going to be the real question. We are going to be heading on to a new map for both of these two teams, actually. AIC, they have not particularly played this one so far in this season. And CCG, well, they've been big fans of Anubis. They've recently started experiencing and experimenting things onto other maps, but so far that particularly has not worked out. But now we're heading on to Anubis, sorry, not Anubis, Inferno, for the first time for both of these two sides. So no history available, no stats whatsoever to work with. We're gonna have to just wait and find out how this map plays out for either of them.
Definitely, we're gonna have to wait out and find out. But then again, we're back to the OG maps. It is an Inferno, so you always know what happens in Inferno. Everybody has played this map. Everybody has the corners and everywhere glued to their mouse as they speak in this particular map. So I'm hoping to see some good old CS here, some great action. But this is CS2, a bit of a rework from CS original CS:GO on this map. A lot of things have changed. A lot of places are new. A lot of like new graphics content as well, as they say. So we are down already in the pistol round as we see that CCG are being taken away. A execution already happened. Dual Beretta on the hands of Kraken here, trying his best to go against three, but the dual Beretta, the fire force of the weapon is not going to be enough to take out three members as the first round after winning the knife round has been given away to after Iron Club winning giving them the pistol round.
Yeah, it was a quick win for side of AIC. They didn't struggle much. We're able to keep three players alive by the end of the round as well. But there was since they denied so many frags onto the other side, and the CT economy being so terrible on its own right now, they're just gonna force CCG to play with those USPs, and
Oh,
CCG are gonna gamble all five players, and nice little fortress being set up. But will it find anything is gonna be the real question, because the bomb's still lurking about. A slower play, even though they have a better arsenal, they're probably aware of the fact that CCG are likely not going to gamble. But Kraken, he did have some extra money, so maybe they will just want to do their due diligence, which is very understandable and probably the better idea to do here, as well as if they spot out this four stack, they would probably probably avoid a lot of damage instead of rushing into things.
probably do. And seeing that stack on made onto the A side does remember of that nade it thrown by a pro player while the players tried to stack and hide in the corner in the afterplan situation, which did deny them. But the site B has been opened, so the bomb's gonna be planted. So they gotta wait it out a bit longer, unless somebody who is coming from that apps tries to come out. There is one player out, but Misha comes in, is gonna find
Oh,
all 10 with the Mac 10, denied the ace by Fearless Beetle, but Arias is gonna be immediately there to take the trade kill. Misha with the 4K, Dell will help him a lot in terms of economy there, is able to buy an off for his team if he wants to. CCG are not able to get much out of that fortress there, so they will just be denied again. But then again, they are always starting at a CT side. I'm not sure if that's something that they just do because of how the game mechanics work right now. You start on at CT, get lesser rounds in the first half, maybe try to tie up the first round and second round, wrap up the game. But what the choice is, but CCG so far has started out every single map that I've watched on CT side.
yeah, it hasn't particularly worked out well, but Inferno, a CT favorite map, perhaps a different storyline, although they have not had a good start for the time being, and it's only getting worse as Misha draws first blood in the third round of the game. The bonus might just work out for the side of AIC. have blocked off the rest of the players. But Fearless Beetle, he's just around the corner from Talon. This should be a free frag. Actually, it isn't. Arius falls in return, but that's an M4 dropped that can perhaps be picked up. It would be a great free upgrade for Talon to get his hands onto. But still, a very slow approach. They're taking their time with this one. Only one player remaining over towards the B side. And that's going to be Icarus with that FAMAS. Has no utility to help him out and is going to walk into the crosshair of Flow. That's going to be the B side opened up, but they're still taking their time with this. Freehand now intrigued, forced perhaps to investigate a little bit, get some space back in return. But this might just be a save round. I would not be surprised when the bomb goes down, and it is going to go down very shortly. They probably are with the fact that it is getting planted at B, and now that's just going to get confirmed. And since they're still walking so slow, it probably is going to be just a save as they try and hold on to those two M4s to take into the next round.
Yeah, just needed to save those weapons as economy is not really good if you're losing the first two rounds from CCG side. And with that 4K, as I mentioned it previously, Misha was able to drop out that op for a flow there, which means there that CG will no longer be able to play aggressively or take any dangerous peaks as counter terrorists in the map. As we see a hunt going on, but they're all the way out towards the safety, all the way down to the second apps. So they're going to be safe. They're going to be sound. So no harm done. Two guns saved. But they got to be aware of that up. As we know, Inferno in T side is a really good one of the maps where you can buy up and the attacking side and will be proven 100% worth it for you because of how the angles work in Inferno. You can play that up in mid, stop any sort of mid rush or aggression, any sort of peek on mid, or you can play that in banana as well to make sure that nobody is peeking out aggressive as well. Take control of the map, take control of the areas, and it can be utilized in a lot of great ways. Now, the beginning of the fourth round, not many guns in hands, only the two M4s that they've saved up previously. Trying to take control of the map over and over again. We see one person all the way deep inside banana and be long, trying to find any information that they can, as Inferno is one of the, like, I would say, old maps. Playing information on Inferno is quite easy. You just have one person rush in apps in A, get as much of information as you can on the A side. One person in the B long does the same thing. As we see, one person will go in and immediately get taken out. Talon, he wasn't expecting that many to be sitting out on there, but that's a lot of valuable information given away. Now, as they're taking the A execution, knowing that there's three persons sitting at B, now that they have full information that nobody is alive or available at A side, gonna get a plant off, which means CCG are out of this round as well. But they do have two M4s on their hand. The question is, do they want to save it? As one of the M4s is down and given away. Treehan is going to be the last person saving that M4. I believe he's not even gonna try against 1 versus 4.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. He has no nades whatsoever to work with, but AIC, they're playing this game very slow. Pretty much all of these rounds have been going to the extents. Their plants are happening within the last 30 seconds. And of course, the last two rounds having been attempts of saving weapons. This might turn out to be a pretty long game, even if AIC continue this rhythm and continue to remain consistent and flawless, perhaps. But for the time being, CCG still struggling. They do have some. They do have enough of lost bonus built up to be able to fully purchase back into this one. But again, their reserves are gonna keep on getting evaporated the instant that they head on to the next rounds. This way, on the other hand, though, finance is looking pretty strong. Sorry, on the side of AIC, they have a player with even 8K, close to 9K actually, and the rest are averaging about 5K altogether. But CCG, this is going to be their prime shot of winning a round out in quite a while. They have 4 defuse kits, quite a lot of nades, a lot of them already invested into getting Icarus all that space over towards Banana and denying it to AIC. But How long are they gonna be able to do so? The nade messes up a little bit, sustains the team damage, but Icarus backs off into safety before the smoke fades away. A nice nade in retaliation, gonna inflict further damage onto the players of AIC, but it's not gonna be enough. Of course, they do have armor on them, all of them. But now the player is trying to make progress again. Icarus left alone on the B side. The smoke keeping him safe.
Very slow pace round this time around from After Iron Club, Alter Iron Club. They are trying to penetrate mid right now. Maybe again another A execution, but Treehan picking up that op will help him stop out, possess some threat to the enemies, saying that you may not enter. Thou shall not enter, as we say here. But the B side, the bomb is all the way towards that B long, but only has 20 seconds to execute. All two members alive in the side have utilities on hand as well. Perfect nade thrown right at their face. It's gonna deal a huge amount of damage. Ikara is able to find one. Beetle finds another one. The headshot onto areas. Flow picks up one op shot onto areas. But now going for the plant. Is the plant denial going to be there? Kraken pushes up from behind. Going to be able to get one, but Flow picks it up, picks him up with a P250. Only 5 HP remaining. This op has to clutch it out against two persons. One rifle, one op. But Freehand being patient, saying, let me push in first before we actually go in. One mistake, 2 bullets, it's all it takes for this man to get it down. But Freehand throws the nade. Kobe is going to be there on top of him. Flo gets taken out, and that's the first round secure for CCG. You know, Inflict, I want to say something if I was a baby who didn't go to sleep every night, you know, without any head pats or any rockabys, then I would say as a CS:GO baby, I wouldn't go to sleep without playing an Inferno map every day, even till now. And as someone who played so much Inferno maps, I would say if they are not able to secure at least 7 rounds in CT half, it's gonna be tough for CCG.
It might be, but again, the thing with esports is you never really know how the final results are going to be like. They could have a terrible CD start, but their luck and timing could be just so great on the D side that they end up winning 11 rounds in a row, perhaps in retaliation. But of course, you have to consider statistics, you have to consider probabilities as well, because that's just sometimes how life works, and they certainly do need. They certainly are hoping to try and come out on top of the lead. A 7-5 would probably be minimal, as you said. But for the time being, the start has not been great. They're looking to mount a comeback. We're down 4-0. They're looking to secure their second now. Have gotten 2 kills already. And the bomb's still in the hands of the players over towards Banana. They seem quite convinced that they want to push this further. They want to test CCG's ability to withhold this. And the players over towards the B side are now running out of utility, so they're going to call for some backup as they're aware about some positioning as well in Kraken. He's going to start to set up a bench, but it might not even matter as Beetle. He's found 2 with the op, gonna get the third on board as well. And as Icarus and Fearless Beetle hold down the B side with absolutely no help necessary. And that's the second round on board. CCG keeping things tight here.
Yeah, just turning advantage in their favor. Getting that op previous round was a good decision. Inferno is one of the maps also where you can have a double op setup in CT side. I feel like most of the maps do, but I feel like Inferno is just great value. You can have one op holding out that A angle, that mid angle, stopping anybody from rushing in, and one holding the B long, just making things much easier. And it is so hard to play against. It feels like the Inferno feels like that one map where op actually feels like a broken gun, where it's just one bullet is just too much. You need 2 bullets to kill someone with op. But then again, areas a quick rush coming in to the A side, gonna be able to drop out one, but Pipe King still holding out to his very best, but not going to be able to hold out too long, as a quick rush is the enemy of the ops, as they're going to be taken out. And now it's all down to Icarus to save this round. Only has one AK that he did pick up in the previous rounds, but has to face up against three enemies who has almost almost 70% of their utilities available. Two flashes, nades, mollies, everything that they need to clutch out this round. So Icarus looking very tough, but he does finds out one no time on the clock for him, though he does have a kit available. But the timer is ticking really, really fast. So he has to find some exit frag that he's desperately looking for. Will inflict some damage onto Talon, but will not be able to take the kill onto him, as the fifth round secured for Alter Iron Club, and CCG again looking bad. They will get a full buy, I believe, this round, but that's about all of their savings used.
Yeah, pretty much. On the other hand, though, they did do enough damage to force a couple of SMGs down the throat of AIC. As you can see, Dallin and Nisha are going to be working with Mac 10s. The rest, though, still have rifles, and this time around, an aggressive approach, quite unorthodox for the likes of AIC. They go for a one-on-one trade to kick things off, and Icarus will burn to his death as he only had 5 HP remaining to try and hold the players off, walks into a Molotov, and hence falls down. Kraken still provides an equalizer and backs off onto the side. He is in desperate need of some help. His location has been given away by the audio queue, and now through the smoke, there's not a lot that he can do either. The bomb is gonna get planted. One player still lurking about over towards middle, and Trehan, his pyro sensors are tingling about it, but it might not even matter. Timing's gonna be everything over towards that engagement, and oh my god, he walks away somehow. Trehan, timing is actually going to be so immaculate here for them right now. If he can get there fast enough over towards Banana, he can make this work. He can make this so much more easier for the rest of his teammates. And there he is. All you do may have been given away. Clubs are already and takes him out. The rest of the two players now they're smoked off. They can do absolutely nothing. There's no opening whatsoever and no time remaining on the clock either. The sixth round on board for AIC.
A very, very aggressive round execution from Alter Iron Club. And we know Inferno, if you get a good B spawn, then a B rush is imminent. And I think they had a good B spawn last round, as we saw, they reached out that B long pretty early, and that was kind of a messy, very, very messy fight going on in the barrel side, in the barrel triangle over there. It is quite hard if you have a lot of smokes down flow, finding out that first blood on mid onto Treehen. So that means Treehen will not be available to do any more op. I'm not sure if he bought op that round. I saw him jumping around through the mid, and well, he got shot. So that's gonna be him gone. But Icarus immediately trades it out, makes the equalizer. Kraken, on the other hand, finds a kill in the mid as well, making things much more easier for CCG. Now CCG are looking a bit okay in this round. They had a bad start with Treehan falling out, but it was traded out immediately after that, finding few good frags. But Fearless Biddle left out all by himself in B, as they have the odd number of people alive, and now it's a 3v2 execution here. Gonna try an open church, but does not look anywhere. Icarus gets taken out. Arius able to find two, able to find third one as
Oh,
well. 3k for him. And a huge mistake for CCG. They had a smoke in mid. I mean, towards the crossing, but they needed to check the church. Nobody was checking church. That's a very rookie mistake.
and then follow after losing the first player, they go for individual fights. Both of the remaining players lose that out, and now CCG again on the back foot. It's confirmed that they're gonna have to work with a disadvantage when they head on to the D side. So starting to look a little bit bad for CCG, and now a timeout called in to try and do damage control. But how much more can they do in the last 3 rounds with their economy looking not that particularly beautiful right now? They're 4 players invested into MP9, so probably all gonna be all 5. Maybe some upgrades onto a FAMAS because Hype King could probably go for that. But on the other hand, it's a full stack, of course. I'm very surprised with this approach that AIC have. They're deliberately purchasing two SMGs and holding on to them, even though they have enough money to go for an upgrade and proper rifles. Not even a Galil or an AK being bought into, but they are trying to play a tad bit more aggressive than they were earlier on. So perhaps it makes sense, but we're gonna have to wait and see if those SMGs can deliver
Oh,
this time around, or even if they'll get a shot, a nice little headshot from Freehand to start things off. Flow trades it out, and Clibzera actually ends up going down to the flames of Talon. Kraken follows that up, and hence a man advantage. Kraken finds another, and suddenly in the blink of an eye, it's all come down to Talon, who will get shut down by Icarus, and the MP9s somehow are able to convert a round out and get some free weapon upgrades while doing so.
a shopping is imminent here. Icarus, the one who went on to the defuse, he's not going to be able to find the gun as feel like his teammate was pointing out, here's the gun, but it was under the smoke, so he wasn't able to pick anything up for himself. Gonna stick out to that SMG, but then again, Inferno is that one map where if I had to play and I hadn't died for 7 or 8 rounds and I was holding on to an SMG, I'd keep that SMG because I feel like you can still do a lot of stuff with SMG. Don't get me wrong, I'd still buy an SMG over rifles in some rounds in Inferno map just because of the fire rate and how good it is when you're just planning on just rush B, don't care anything else. And yeah. So now starting off, CCG winning that round, securing themselves a few of the guns. I feel like CCG can secure a few more rounds in the CT half. Like you said, they might not be able to get that 7 round, but they can be the team which gets the 5 rounds. So still, I would say still in the game, still not a very bad lead for for them to chase on in the second half if they go with 5-7 scoreline. But then for that to happen, they need to win 2 more rounds. Fearless Bill finds one, but Flo finds Icarus out there. That's an op rushing in B long. Immediate rotation from CCG, having 2 members towards that B side, meaning they will be able to hold things off if they are facing off against a rush, but it is a 3v4 situation. So Alter Iron Club, they need to rethink their choices. They need to rethink where they might want to go in. And it looks like they're going to be turning towards A side once again, as A side has been more successful for them compared to B in this attacking side. But they are going to be taking it slow. Only 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Not the clock not being their friends at this point, but they gotta play against time. Only 15 seconds remaining. Are they even planning to push? Because as of yet, it looks like they are just too far behind. Even if they go in right now, I highly doubt they're gonna be able to do anything. Two players killed, and that's gonna be the third, following up by Hype King. Flo gets taken out, and they didn't pick up the op, but they were able to secure the round out. So CCG last round, have good economy, have all the buys, and have a lot of spare if they needed to, if they want to go with few extra utilities, as we see a few flashes being dropped out on the ground. But can't say the same thing for Alter Iron Club, as they are sitting at few pistols, unfortunately.
Yeah, the economy completely has shifted gears here. And CCG, a nice little recovery in this game. Had a slow start again, but we're able to pull some rounds through. Likely looking at a 7-5 score line on the receiving, on the worst end of it, but still, it's only a 2 round deficit. They win the pistol round in the next half. They likely would close things out, but they still, of course, have to confirm their fifth victory. And they are on the right path to it. They've taken one weapon away. That was the Mark 10, the singular SMG that they had. The Tech 9 connects onto one, followed by the Galil of Flows, and suddenly Flo is the last one alive, having to deal with 3 players. The silver lining, perhaps, is that he still has the bomb, so he can go for a plant or at least fake and bait out some engagements. Gonna take a fight against Beetle, and he's made this possible. And AK picked up 1 versus 2 now and has a lot of time on his hands to work with. Hence, gonna go for a rotation here, but CCG might be sensing and hence are gonna go on the move, but it might be a little bit too late. Unfortunately for Flo, he does not have a lot of utility to work with, as the bomb shall go down, but he's gonna have to take those fights up front. Going whatsoever. Walks into both of the players, facing them off. Instantly shuts down, gets shut down as well. But that's the fifth on board for CCG after being down 4-0. I mean, they've recovered in the first half, but the question is if they'll be able to tie things up, or this lead could further grow deadly if the pistol round ends up in the favor of AIC.
I I do believe in CCG. They have shown us some exceptional performances, some aggressive performances previously on Ancient, and I'm still holding on to that performance, hoping that we'll get to see something similar yet again in any time whenever they feel like, okay, this is the time to blow off. I feel like with Kraken and Hype King blowing off last time on Ancient, if we see a similar performances here, and Icarus being the super sub mentioned previously, I think we should be able to see a good terrorist sided performance in the Inferno side, as we see a quick walk towards the mid here. Might be an ace site that is going to be opened up here, but they gotta remember they are facing up against few USPs, which can be very deadly in few team fights, and that deadliness was the one that I was talking about right now. As Flo finds two headshots onto two people here, Kraken does find a kill onto Misha here, making it 2 versus 3, but still not in their advantage. The C4 is dropped on the site, and somebody needs to pick it up and somebody needs to go for the plant, but not when they're constantly being pushed on from all sides here. Now Hype King down with last two persons here. Not the most impossible thing to do, but he knows, he has the information of where the players might be, so he needs to go for it. He does have enough time to go and find a frag before potentially going for the plant. So he's gonna try and push it out, try to find one frag. Will not be possible, as Arius and Talon will now look for the push. They find the head on top of the barrel, and it's gonna be taken out, as they do have the kit available as well, and that is gonna be the round secured for Iron Alter Iron Club, meaning they win the pistol round and they're gonna just increase their lead further on.
Yeah, it stands at 3 right now, but the good thing here is that CCG were able to take some lives away and also got the bomb down, so they're going to probably go for a force buy here. And okay, they're actually going to go for a timeout here as well. So they don't want to allow AIC to grow their lead further. They want to shut things down right now, stop them right in their tracks to begin with at this beginning of the second half. And they want to start to roll around some rounds at the beginning of the second half, even though they lost the pistol. But those Mac 10s, they can prove to be very lethal, especially on a map like Inferno. If you can get up close using that utility, which can guard you from taking those long engagements, and you can infiltrate sites quite aggressively behind those, and it can work out really well. We saw a couple of rounds where AIC did so as well. If CCG can replicate it on a somewhat larger scale in this round, on actually the same scale even, because the thing is,
Mhm.
AIC are working with 4 SMGs on their own. They only have one M4 as well, so it's pretty evenly matched for the time being on either side here.
It definitely is. Five Mac 10s on the hand, and two utilities and a green CCG going in, but the straight for the smoke is going to be very vital. Finding out 2 kills. Freehand does take out Misha in the very end, and Fearless Beetle comes out, jumping in straight onto the face of Flo. That head's going to be blown out. Finds a headshot. An immediate kill. Talon flashed out, gonna be able to find one before he goes out. Treehan picks up the trade kill onto Arius, and now it's all down to Treehan as he finds out yet another one with a Glock. Clipzera gets taken out. 3K for Treehan to save CCG off at the very end. A gamble that they took, but the gamble worked out in their favor. Intellect, which means CCG, the comeback is now gonna be happening, as we know that this is a scoreline, familiar scoreline that a lot of pro teams have brought themselves back from, and CCG are no different.
Economy in shambles on the side of Alt Iron Club, forcing into this round, hoping for a Hail Mary, but that's not going to happen as Misha has fallen already. Kraken looking for his second and gets it successfully. The Macton so successful all throughout. these two halves, and they continue to deliver. CCG, they were able to get some free upgrades in the last round as well. Were able to pick up that singular M4 that Ultra Iron Club had, so they're gonna put it to good use. For this Beetle has it stationed up over towards Banana. Haven't spotted anything out, but CCG, they're playing the same game that Ultra Iron Club did. They absolutely need to not rush things, and they're taking their sweet time with it. The A site has been cleared up, so as the smoke goes down, so will the bomb, and the rotation is gonna come in eventually. There's absolutely no way the players of AIC decide to hold on to these weapons, but there's not a lot that they are going to be able to do given that two of them have pistols. They do not have defuse kits, and two of those players are still over towards Banana. They are going to waste a lot of time while making that rotation, and there's only one player up close and personal. He is going to be able to pick up a Mac 10, has gotten a frag as well, but now the clock's starting to tick away, and actually they're saving these weapons. They're saving these MP9s and the Mac 10s because they're probably going to want to invest absolutely no money, or maybe some into grenades in the next round, which is very understandable, and hence they hold on. So a wise choice, a surprising one perhaps as well, but CCG are now just one round away from tying things up.
Another very nice round by CCG, just getting one step closer to that equalizer that I'm hoping to see. And this might be the round that they get the equalizer. But then again, you mentioned that those SMGs saved. Those SMGs can be used and be very vital if you're just playing very defensively in Inferno, because you have to take these close combats. Very very close combats where these SMGs can be very useful, as we see a B stack coming in. So those two SMGs, if they decide to rush from CCG, is going to be very vital. But then again, as we know how they have been playing in Inferno so far, as you should be playing Inferno, is just take map control, take the information, and if you feel like something's off, then that's when you rush in. As we see already, very deep inside Kraken, inside the A side, knowing that nobody's going to be there, so they might be able to sniff out the B stack here, as we already see that CCG pulling off a rotation towards the A side, as they already have the A side completely opened up. So they have figured out the B stack. But I love that one of the members stick out to the barrels. If anybody decides to rotate from there, he is going to be that flank that deals the most damage. Now CCG getting a free plant towards the A side, and that one person on B, I'm still hoping what kind of plays he's gonna show. Now, Alter Iron Club, do they all save up and not give away any kills at all? As Fearless Beetle, he's gonna be waiting for the smoke to go out. He's gonna be finding one kill and giving away one M4, something that is not very good. And Treehan giving out another M4. That is very questionable play from CCG right now. You don't want to, if you get a free site like this, you don't want to give away too many rifles around. And giving away two rifles in a round, I feel like Alter Iron, they did not lose that round. In fact, they won that round. If we talk about the economy going forward in this game.
In its literal senses, they did lost the round, but yeah, there were some benefits to it. Of course, they got a hold of some weapons, so that's gonna be not practically an economy boost per se, because they're still working around bonuses, but it should allow them to have a better set of weaponry that they're than they would have likely had. Only one SMG instead of probably having two or three around, so they have CCG to thank for that. But already some nice nades landing onto the players of AIC. Talon somehow actually ends up finding a frag through the smoke, and that's going to be Fearless Beetle down already. And now that there are rifles in the hands of AIC, they're starting to get proactive here as well, fighting to hold on to Banana and CCG. There's not a lot that they've been able to do. This Abs fight has practically never went into the favor of AIC up until now, where Flow puts that op to good use and has taken Kraken away. Kraken has been there quite a lot, so the read works out perfectly.
Oh,
Talon
oh,
forced into a corner is gonna burn down, And that's going to reveal the location of Arius as well, who has been forced to back off now that he has absolutely no utility either. No smoke to hold those players off, so he's gonna have to try and hold them back with that M4. The smoke gets tossed in, a lot of damage dealt onto two players. Gets one, gets the second as well, looking for the third. The deagle shot will not connect, but it eventually is gonna find the head of Drehan, and that's gonna be the ninth round on board for AIC, as both these teams are now starting to trade blows, but we're getting very close to the end game here.
It's as the saying goes, the snake you brought home has driven you out of your own house. The guns that CCG have dropped in the previous round have been completely vital to themselves, as those weapons strike them back, and they have just given out a round, a very crucial round away to the Alter Iron Club side. Now, CCG, they do have weaponry going on into this round as well. Not many utilities to follow up with, but a very nice frags found out at the very beginning of the round. Arius, on the other hand, does hold an op, so he's going to be able to take out Icarus, the flank, all the way back. They have opened up the A site, but a very, very wise play coming in from CCG's side. They have not forced the C4 down towards that side as well, meaning forcing both of the members from B side to come in mid and try and make some plays. Darius is going to be able to find out one with the flash. Kraken at the very end of the flash will be able to take out one more kill. Now, the person who was down at the spawn is forced out to rotate on A side right now. They are going to go for the C4 plant, not going to gamble themselves with that op, but I'm not sure if they know that Talon does hold the op because he did pick it up from the ground, which means they might as well go for that op at some point, because I would bet Treehan would want that op very, very much. But we can safely say TCG have secured themselves an even scoreline once again, and like fixing their mistake from previous round. And it is very head to head and neck to neck right now. Anything can happen potentially, but I do feel like CCG just striking Iron Alter Iron Club with the economical standpoint. I feel like if they can get a lead on that, then this should be a game for them to have.
It should be now. Now we're starting to enter a really entertaining but a dangerous era for both of these two teams on this map. Both of them just 4 rounds away from concluding things out. Both of them not doing particularly well in terms of the money that they have to back themselves. Maybe a little bit favorable for the side of CCG, of course, given that they are on the D side, so the economy automatically better for them, and Hype King has some reserves to work with as well. But we're gonna have to wait and see if they're gonna have to put that to good use, because an aggressive play coming in from CCG might just give a quite a decisive conclusion to this round. Hen, Hype King, both of them find a frag each, but it's all gonna come down to a 3 versus 3 now, as there's one player isolated over towards the B side. It's gonna be Clipzera. He backs off through the smoke, gonna wait for the backup to arrive, as the A side has been left open, and all of the players are starting to rotate over from the looks of it. But CCG, they've slowed things down. They still have quite a lot of time to work with, so they can keep these players guessing. A single nade thrown over a Molotov to clear out some angles, as CCG slowly start to clear up more of banana. And you can see there's absolutely
Mhm.
no information being relayed over. The players of AIC have no idea what's gonna hit them. And now that the Molotovs are starting to get tossed onto the side, the realization sets in that okay, it is gonna be a hit after all. The op shot will not connect, and clips are up close and personal with that MP9. Deals a little bit of damage, not fatal. Molotov forces him back, but he
Oh,
gets a frag. Traded out and Flow to follow it up. And suddenly this comes down to a 1 versus 2. A couple of nades thrown
oh!
together, lethal enough to find Fearless Beetle's full HP. And that's the 10th round on board. AIC becomes the first team to hit double digits.
I remember before it got nerfed, grenades used to do so much damage. in CS:GO before. Even though it's nerfed right now, as you can see, it does inflict a pretty good damage yet. Especially when you throw two of them stacked together like that. A beautiful play coming in from the CT side. You gotta give it out to them, Alter Iron Club. They are doing their very best to stay alive in this game, and now CCG forced into an eco here as they do not have anything left. Only one hero gun onto Hype King. If they're able to find few frags, maybe steal a few guns, that might be a different case. Utility, the only like few utilities they have used out. Kraken forced out to use one of his smokes. The molly will not connect onto anybody actually. It's just forced out outside. That's a wasted molly, but doesn't matter as they were able to get the rush on onto pit, find a kill there, have themselves two AKs that they've stolen, one that they bought, one that they stole, and now a retake situation, waiting for the utilities to go on, despite having the mat advantage and knowing that CCG might not have Kevlar and helmet available on them. Still being patient as this they know that this is a very crucial round. If they lose out this round, the eco round from CCG, then that is going to be very bad. But the time is actually working in the favor of CCG right now as they finally go in at the very end. Freehand Elgar to find one. He just needs to waste time. Did he waste enough time? I believe not.
No.
Yes, they did.
Point four
Point 0.3 second.
seconds. Point
Point, not even
point
4, 0.3.
somewhere around that. Honestly, CCG barely get one through the cracks, and oh boy, this series is only getting closer and closer because once again the money factor is going to come into the play. Both of them, they do not have anything in their reserve. CCG, they lost all of their players, but on the other hand, I see they lost that round. 5 USPs across the board. CCG finally looking to claim the lead here. They're in a pristine position to be able to do so, and that should put them on the 11th. But they need to confirm it, of course, first. But one more round needed afterwards, and they would practically win the game out. The economy is going to be in shambles. 4 players over towards Banana. Slow push coming in, but it might be a quick one. Once the dust settles, the smoke goes away and Kraken falls. That's an SMG sent over, but will it even matter? The USB is tucked up over the top. The Talon has found one. The second player gonna get gunned down by Beetle as well, and
What?
CCG, what flow somehow ends up going down as well, and suddenly this is a 3 versus 2. Sure, still a couple of players with USBs in their hands. A boost coming in over the top. It's gonna find its perfect timing onto Hype King, and suddenly it's all come down to Fearless Beetle. 2 USBs against a Mac 10, and the bomb has been dropped as well. Fearless Beetle, no utility in his hands to work with either. The AK picked up, but it won't even matter. Somehow a 5 USP round has been
Wow.
converted, and what a they just deny handing
Yeah.
CCG over a lead.
If you could say if death from above, that sentence had a visual representation, that would be the visual representation presented to us in that round. It was CCG just falling down, all of their members. The USPs fired back from above all the time. The boosts got so much out of them. A double grenade comes in at Banana, finding huge damage onto Icarus, but Icarus finding that very early on kill, forcing uh, Ultra Iron Club now back, which means they will be able to get a gun, but Icarus gets another nade right at his face. Too many nades for him to handle there, as now the gun that they've dropped out will not be actually picked up by anybody here. Fearless Beetle going towards that banana. I believe he will be able to get himself something, but not a lot, to be honest. Holding on to that car area down towards A. They have opened up a short. Going in, Treehan will be able to find one shot. Hyping finds another one. Tech 9. Pistols are being more vital than the rifles here on out at the very end of the game, as the game's momentum has completely changed up. Everybody is currently in the zone as we speak right now, so it doesn't matter whatever guns they have in their hand, whether it be a pistol or whether it be a rifle. Everybody is connecting the bullets straight onto the head, so it is every gun is vital right now for them as they get a planned 3v2 situation. Does have kit available on both of them and a rifle available. Use their last bit of utility, but Hype King with that Tech 9 will be as vital as I speak. Finding that 3k, finding the last two kills, meaning the equalizer is once again there from CCG's side. Now a pause tactical pause is going to be called out from Alter Iron Club as they are very much required for this tactical pause. Whether do they go for a buy this round because they won't have a full buy, or do they save because this is gonna be the most crucial round for both of these teams. Very tough call indeed. Match point in the gambles and I would say economies in the shambles for the CT side
Yeah.
as they need to go forward
I
with
mean,
something.
okay, hear me out. They're going for a buy here, and it's all gonna practically come down to Misha and Flo. I would not be surprised if they decide to be the one that bring out a fight. They lead the charge with that Deagle and that MP9 to try and pick up some weapons in return and get that one player back off. They maybe find a couple of trades, get one player to get hold of an AK and then back off. It would not be something that I would not expect, but it seems like they're still going to continue with that passive play. It's risky, but it's also convenient. CCG, they can practically taste the victory right now given the arsenal of AIC. It's not pretty at all. The likelihood of them being able to pull this round out. Sure, they did so with USPs, but they were facing off against SMGs back then. Now it's four rifles across the board, alongside one Mac 10 in the hands of Kraken, who is just being a nuisance right now. He's heading over towards the spawn for the time being, gonna spot a player out, and that's gonna be Talon Fall, and chaos ensues. The Deagle shot will not connect, and Arius is gonna fall. The B side opened up. There's still one player tucked into a corner. Misha gets one, but now it's gonna be a Hail Mary if he can find another, and he does actually somehow. Will get traded out. Clips arrow from behind, shut down, and that's gonna leave Flo all on his own with that op who he 100% wants to hold on to give them somewhat of a better chance in the next round.
CCG finding that C4 plant at the very end of the round. Eco is like half buy, half eco situation from the side of Alter Iron Club, which means they don't want to do anything in this game anymore. In the regulation, at least, they have given away one round to CCG, not intentionally, but they had to. They were forced to, no choice they had going into this round, as now they are gonna possibly try and force this game into an overtime. But CCG, as long as it goes for them, they would not want that flow saving that up, which means the rest of the teammates will be able to get something on the board as they force out yet another tactical pause. um Throughout the entire game, Alter Iron Club, they look strong, they looked stable, they looked like they knew what they were doing. But at the very end, when CCG just snatched everything away from them, they had to use two tactical pause in the last two rounds of the entire game. And that's how forced or pressured they might feel coming into these last three rounds.
Well, doesn't matter what happened all across the game. What matters is what's going to happen now. One chance, CCG, they win this game out, they'll get their fourth win, or they'll get their ninth loss, perhaps. But that's not going to be confirmed, of course. AIC, they're going to have to win an OT before they can head on to OT. They need to win this round. CCG, they can. The victory is practically an out place at this point, as one player has already fallen. That's Clipzera gone. First people leading the charge over towards Banana. Hits a headshot. Does get traded out, but that's a man advantage. Kraken barely survives that fight. 7 HP on him. But he's found a gap. A side left. A side opened up, and Misha, he has to cover for the cracks that he's left open. Makes up for it. Kraken falls 3 versus 3. RS has fallen back, but the nades are now starting to set in. The smoke gonna cut him off. But there's one in retaliation as well. CCG not fearful of it whatsoever. Trade comes through 2 versus 2 now. Bomb should go down with ease. The rotations are yet to come through. And the smoke keeping them safe. Flow can't find anything with that op after being smoked off. But they're gonna have to clear out so much space. They have a lot of flashes to work with, so that's something good. The Molotov clearing out box. Freehand forced out. The op shot doesn't connect. It connects eventually onto Flow, and it connects eventually onto Misha as well. And there it is, the game secured for CCG. We went to the final round of regulation in CCG. This is the closest game that they have had where they won out as well. See, Inferno, this is the first showing that CCG had, and it was one heck of a run, even after being down by 2 by the end of the first half.
Yeah, it feels like CCG, they were down the whole series. It feels like they were down the entire game. But, even after staying down for so long, you just need that one moment where you rise up, and that one is more than enough. And CCG rose up at the second half, and they had a wonderful second half here. Alter, Iron Club. It felt like they were a few times where they shocked us, where the USP round, 5 USP, just completely stopped, denied CCG from getting that lead. But in the end, it did not matter, as CCG are going to be winning out this week. Now, I'm not sure how many games, if we even have any games next week, or how many games we have next week. But for this week, this was it from CCG. I'm glad it ended out in a victory, because that ancient victory tasted wonderful. And we have the MVP for today. It is going to be once again Treehan, who was also the MVP for the ancient game that we have won. Treehan with 20 frags, 21 frags before, and 15 that's 4 assists. He was absolutely amazing to watch with Op once again. And we know Treehan loves to play with Op, so the moment he gets an Op, we all get excited, and we all hope that he will get some frags. Inflick, you have anything else to say before we say goodbye to everybody?
Well, we actually do have two more games that are going to be playing out. One's going to be against Beer League, and one is going to be against Immigrant Peaks next week. Uh, the first one on Monday, 9 p.m. EST. The second one on Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST. So make sure you guys follow our socials. We'll let you know if those games are being broadcasted, and if not, well, you won't see it on social. So make sure you go give
Yeah.
us a follow right there. But for this week, as you said, and for this day, we are done. So until Monday, hopefully, this is going to be goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. So have a good night. Sayonara.